Finally, 2K20 is here. Well, at least the demo. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting more than just one game. But hey, at least we got something new from 2K. I've been spending the past day, I may or may not have left the house, trying to really find, you know, that one best guard build in 2K20. And I think, you know, after doing some tests, after looking through pretty much everything, I finally found him. Now, this is the thing. Since you can customize so much of your player this year with all the attributes and the badges and stuff like that, the builds are not completely cookie cutter. Like, I want to be honest, when you get to that sort of customization, the best build in the game for you is not going to be the exact same, you know, with all the badges and stuff as, say, me or someone else. So that's what I wanted to focus on in this video. You guys will see, but hey, drop a like if you're excited. We finally get something new from 2K. I'm so excited about 2K20. Let's get right into it. So starting off, you actually have to pick your position first. So I'm going to pick point guard. Handiness, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Now, here's the thing with the new MyPlayer builder. Now, you guys all know LD, all of them. We're kind of, you know, dancing around the fact that we don't have archetypes.
What they want. Okay. How they want.
But there is something similar to archetypes. Is these, I guess, pie charts. This is the base of your player. This is the most important part when you make him. So, of course, you want to pick the right one. Like, for example, this one right here, the first one is pretty much a pure slasher, so unless you're over the age of 30, this is probably not for you. But the base of your player that you want, you know, the pie chart, you want to start with this one. This has the two most important parts of the game: playmaking and shooting. Now you're going to see this isn't going to be called a play sharp. It's going to be called something different, but you want to start off with this. The next thing, physical profile, you're going to go with the first pie chart. There's a lot of pie charts this year. The two most important stats you have are speed and acceleration. You don't really care about strength too much. You know, like you're a little guard, vertical, you're not going to be doing crazy dunks anyway. You want to be as fast as possible. Remember, the stat you need to speed boost this year is speed with ball. Now this is where things get complicated. Now I like that 2K did this because there's a ton of customization, but you have to be careful. The way you're going to go about this is just go by priority, right? Of course, you want your ball handling all the way up. Now keep in mind, these stats are all going to change as you change your height, your wingspan, stuff like that. Then you max out your mid-range, max out your 3-point. So an 84 3-point, like that's pretty good. That's higher than a play sharp last year. Now I actually pass the ball sometimes, so I'm going to put my passing accuracy all the way up, you know, trying to be unselfish. Next, driving layup, driving dunk. That's very important, especially when you're not a slasher. I mean, 77 driving layup, that's pretty good. So at this point, there's 228 attribute upgrades remaining, and this is where things are going to change. I think defense is very important. Like, the reason why there's been 2 centers, 3 centers, all these metas is because they made defense just terrible for guards. So especially if you're going to be playing 2s, you know, hopefully 2 centers isn't the meta again. But even if it isn't, to stop something like that, you're going to need all the defense you can possibly get, especially with the height and the weight of guards this year. So we still have 92 attribute upgrades remaining. Now the thing with these attributes is that they don't just go towards the attribute you're going to. So for example, playmaking, me upgrading my post moves, it seems completely pointless, right? Like, I'm not gonna be posting up with a guard. But if you look at the badge upgrades, you know, it goes from 19 to 23, which is an extra Hall of Fame badge for upgrading my post moves. Now you're not necessarily gonna want to do that, but you have to think about that as you're doing this. Like free throw, I'm gonna be playing Park. When am I ever gonna shoot a free throw? But look at the shooting badge upgrades, right? It goes from 8 literally to 17. It more than doubles. So I'm maxing that out, still have 61 left. So at this point, I'm gonna go to close shot. I'm gonna max that out. My finishing badges goes from 1 to 4. Standing dunk, also gonna max that out, so that goes to 6. I still have 18 attributes left. Now I'm gonna use these very wisely. Only things we don't have maxed out now are rebounding stats and post move stats. So you want to use the rest of these 18 upgrades to leverage the badges. For example, post fade, I go up 1 and I already get another shooting badge. But look, I have to keep going another, I don't know, 10 to get another shooting badge. And with the rebounding, if you use 7, so I'm going to go, I don't know, 4 here and 3 here, you get an extra defensive and rebounding badges just for 7, and you have 10 left. But regardless of post moves or post fade, whichever one you use it on will only give you 1 more badge. So I'm going to use it on the shooting badges just so everything is even. 6, 19, 19, and 6. Okay, that's over. That was complicated, but it's worth it. Now onto your body shape. Now, I know there's going to be somebody out there that's like, well, if you actually make this body shape, you get more strength. Like, no. Height, weight, and wingspan. Now I had to do some trial and error here, but it was definitely worth it. And I figured the best height is going to be 6'4". The best weight, you're going to make that all the way go down, so minimum weight. And your wingspan is going to be 3 ticks down from default, so 77.9, which honestly isn't that bad. That's 6'6", so you're 6'4" with a 6'6" wingspan. Now 2K, we need to have a talk. Why do you nerf guards every year? Like, every year you have to be shorter and shorter and shorter to be able to speed boost. Like, it makes no sense. And they wonder why the meta in their game is 3 centers. So this is going to give you a +2 boost to your mid-range and 3-point, but the most important part of this is the boost to your ball handling. Now, 86 is the cutoff for, you know, momentum, stuff like that, but you don't want it right at 86 because that's assuming that you haven't missed any shots, but you have full energy. And I'm just gonna warn you guys, even with Hall of Fame handles for days, like, you lose energy so fast. Like, that badge is probably the biggest joke. So you're gonna need it a little bit above 86. I think 88 is pretty good. Now we've got to choose the takeover. Even though it's called spot up shooter this year, not just sharpshooter, this is the best takeover. Playmaker takeover was like the worst takeover in the game last year because people would just play hands up. Now shot creator does come in close, but that is pretty much exclusively for off dribble shots. I mean, I just tend to take more standing shots, you know, more limitless range shots, so I'm gonna put it on sharpshooter. So it says you've built a playmaking shot creator. That's what this is called. It's called a shot creator. Similarities to Kevin Johnson, okay, yeah. Stephen Curry, okay, that's good, and John Wall. Let's get into the badges. Oh yeah, also test is built at 99. You know what's crazy? I don't know if I'm gonna find the screenshot, but Mike Wang said that you're gonna be able to hit 99 in 2 days. So that pretty much confirms park rep, but these attributes that you're gonna need, especially like the ball control, you need that maxed. Like, that's gonna be maxed soon for you. So starting off with the finishing badges. Now, the first one that caught my eye was fast break finisher. Now, this is the thing. If you're gonna be playing twos, this badge is useless, right? So I wouldn't invest your potential upgrades into this badge. Okay, showtime is super overpowered. Boost teams takeover meters after completing a highlight play. Now, this isn't even necessarily just a finishing highlight play, any highlight play. So this you're gonna want to put on gold. Now, I think the best way for you to do this is to spread them out because none of these badges are really that good from this point on. I mean, like, there's a lot of post badges in here, a lot of badges that are like for contact dunks, which you're probably not gonna get anyway. So I put 3 of these badges I had left on bronze. I put acrobat, slithery finisher, and pro touch. That is it. But these are actually really useful. Acrobat helps you hit difficult layups. Slithery finisher helps you avoid contact when going for layups. And then of course, pro touch, it rewards you for timing layups. Like, if you can't time a layup, maybe this badge isn't for you, but it does reward skill. Now, the one badge I could have changed this to is Giant Slayer. Now keep in mind, these are on bronze, so they're not super important, but I thought this was definitely the 3 I wanted to go with. Now we're on to the shooting and playmaking badges. Now these, we get 19 upgrades on each, so there's gonna be a ton of badges. And the one thing I wanted to point out is that these are not your final badges. Once you get the game, you're going to be able to change them, and I think that's really important because there's a ton of badges on here that we know exactly what they do, but we don't know how good they really are. Like, for example, green machine right here increases the bonus given when getting consecutive greens. That can either be really overpowered, it could be mediocre, or it could just be complete trash. So we're just gonna have to see with some of these badges. Now off the bat, I mean, let's just be honest, these are obvious. Hall of Fame Deadeye, Hall of Fame Range Extender. The next one I'm gonna put on Hall of Fame is Hall of Fame Zone Hunter. Now this is a very overpowered badge if it's worded what I think it is. It's kind of underrated. Boosts the shot percentage in your player's favorite spots. Now, I don't know if favorite spots means hot spots, but if it does, this might be the best shooting badge in the game. You guys remember, like, every 2K before, you could get a hot spot everywhere. So you're basically just getting a boost on top of where your hot spots already are. Like, that sounds super overpowered. Now, even if it's not hot spots, it's just your player's favorite spots, which would be something totally different, it could still be extremely overpowered because as a guard, you're not really shooting in the corners too much. You're not taking too many dunks. Like, there's only a few places that you're really shooting. So I'm putting this on Hall of Fame. If there was one badge I wish I could have on my play sharp last year, it was tireless score. There'd be so many situations where I'm dribbling, I cook someone, I get a wide open shot, but I have no energy and I miss it. Now, Mike Wang said they are buffing the stamina, but even then, I think this would be a really useful badge. Finally, difficult shots. Now you gotta remember, this player is named a playmaking shot creator, so you're already pretty good at off dribble shots, but there's so many situations where I'll be running and somebody is kind of behind me or kind of to the side of me. I know if I were to step back and take a 3, it'd be contested, but if I take an off dribble, it's open. So this will really help with that. On top of that, I wanted to add something about the takeover. If you guys remember in 2K19, the sharp takeover worked like a shot creator takeover. Like, it helped you make off dribble 3s, so it kind of defeats the purpose of the shot creator takeover unless you're only really taking mid ranges. But they did call it spot up shooter this year, so maybe that's what the difference is. I don't really know. But that is it for all of the shooting badges. Now you're probably wondering about some badges that I didn't decide to upgrade. Catch and shoot. I mean, you're a guard, you're a ball handler. Most of the time you're shooting, it's going to be after you finish dribbling. Clutch shooter. This could be a really good badge, but if you're playing twos mostly, now I said everything's going to change based on how you play, but just from playing twos, the score is barely ever close in twos. You know what I mean? It's not the same as like threes or prime or whatever. Corner specialist, I didn't upgrade that because I'm barely shooting in the corner. I'm not spotting up. Guards, ball handlers, stuff like that, they shoot mostly from the top of the key and the wings. Flexible release, I mean, if you get a lot of half bars, maybe you should equip this, but it literally rewards you for shooting half bars. Green Machine and Hot Star both kind of the same. We don't really know how overpowered they are. Quick Draw. Now, this is a big badge because it speeds up your jump shot. Now, this is my thinking. I'm 6'4". Like, I already have the fastest jump shots in the game. So I'm pretty sure this badge is mainly meant for like stretch bigs and stuff like that. It wouldn't make sense that they would take out the height advantage. You would need this badge regardless, even if you were as short as like 6'4". Slippery Off Ball, you're mostly playing on ball, kind of pointless. Steady Shooter, that could be a really overpowered badge as well, but again, we don't know. And then Volume Shooter, it is a good badge this year. It's not a bad badge anymore, but again, I don't really know. Like, the shooting badges, we're really gonna have to see after the game comes out what's really overpowered. Now we're on to the playmaking badges. Let's get the obvious ones out of the way. Hall of Fame Angle Breaker, Hall of Fame Handles for Days, which is the biggest joke of a badge because you literally still, every player has asthma. With a Hall of Fame badge, you still run out of energy so fast. Now, like I said, I like to be unselfish, and there's 2 badges on here that are really good, and you definitely need one of them. That is Dimer and Floor General. You guys remember what Dimer does, but Floor General, it automatically boosts your teammates' offensive stats just for being on the court. And I'm not gonna lie, Dimer's been kind of bad in the past couple years. It was good in 2K16, but it looks like Floor General is gonna be better, so I'm gonna put that on Hall of Fame. Next, I'm putting Unpluggable on Hall of Fame. I mean, like, history repeats itself, and Garchers got ripped up way too much last year. Literally more than like stretch bigs, post score, stuff like that. So I think this is going to be a really useful badge. Now there's one more spot for a gold badge, and I'm putting it on Stop and Go. It improves the player's ability to stop and start with the ball. I mean, that sounds like speed boosting to me. That sounds like what's really going to get you past your defender. But just like the shooting badges, there are some badges you might wonder why I didn't put them on, or just some badges we're going to have to wait for. Downhill, I didn't put it on because it's a fast break badge. It only works on 3s, not 2s. Flashy Passer, I mean, I guess this could be overpowered. It gives you a boost to take over after you complete an assist with a flashy pass, so that could be good. Lob City Passer, lobs are really good in 19, so I could put this on something like gold. Needle Threader, I mean, it basically rewards you for making bad passes, so not gonna put that on. Quick First Step, that's more for like face-up players. I mean, this is before you even start dribbling. Space Creator sounds really good. Just it creates more space. But again, we don't really know how overpowered it is. It's not that specific. And then Tight Handles, it's not that specific either. It sounds kind of similar to Ankle Breaker. It breaks down your defender, so we're just gonna have to see with badges like that. Finally, we're on to defensive and rebounding badges. The majority of these are rebounding badges. You're not gonna even consider them, but there's 2 I decided to put on, and then 2 that you may want to switch to. First is Clamps. It helps you stay in front of perimeter defenders. You're mainly going to be guarding ball handlers that have the ball most of the time, so that seems like a pretty good badge. Pickpocket, same kind of thing. You're usually going to be guarding the ball handler, and on top of that, the reaching system's actually supposed to be good this year. It's not just supposed to be spamming, so definitely better than something like Interceptor, which is more for like off-ball players. Now, there's a couple badges that I would consider. Pick Dodger. Now, if you've seen a Hall of Fame brick wall, roll the clip. Bruh. Yeah, we might have to, counter that. Hopefully Pick Dodger actually works, and if Brick Wall stays like that, I'm gonna probably have to switch Clamps to that. And then Lightning Reflexes with the whole new defensive system. Now, I don't know exactly how that works, but it should help you, I guess, stay in front of your defender more. We will see. So there's a ton of badges that we just don't know how they work. We don't know how good they're gonna be, so stay tuned for videos in the future, especially when the game comes out. But that, guys, is the best guard build on 2K20. Don't forget to drop a like down below. As always, we're going for 5,000 likes, and I don't usually tell people to subscribe, but you guys are definitely gonna want to subscribe for some more 2K20 content. 200K grind. Shout out to the Noti gang. I'm gonna be making a lot more videos with builds because that's basically the only thing in the demo, because I know not every single one of you is gonna make a guard next year. This is just the build I'm gonna be making. I'm gonna be grinding on. Go watch some more videos. They're gonna be in the outro, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.